Well, hello, hockey fans and Dallas Stars Elite 12U fan faithful tuning in from across the globe. We're about to kick off the third game this weekend against the Odessa Junior Jacks, a familiar foe from a 3-game set that we played out in their barn, which was a heck of a good time. And this will be the last regular season game for both these clubs. And Michael, it means a heck of a lot more to Odessa than it does to us, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Brody. So, I know we had talked earlier in the weekend about the top 4 seeds pretty much being set, but the Odessa Junior Jacks came out strong in their last game. So they're actually tied up with the Wranglers. Now, we don't know what the Wranglers games are looking like, but if the Odessa Jacks win this game, that could mean they squeak in and knock the Wranglers out of the 4th seed to get into the playoffs. So it's win or go home for these guys.
Should help ensure that we keep a good pace here with our ladies, because they're going to want to come out skating hard, make sure they shut down the Jacks. I don't know if they know the out-of-town scoreboards like we do, but regardless, I'm certain coach is having them play hard any which way. And Schaefer's going to get the start between the pipes to kick this one off, continuing on the rotation.
Yeah, and regardless, the girls are going to want to get a strong showing. After the 2 losses against the Brahmas this weekend, they're going to want to end the weekend on a high note and go into the playoffs with a win under their belt. So I'm expecting them to come out really strong and fast. Now, the previous 3 games, just to recap for the folks at home, the first game against the Jacks we played, we beat them 3-1. That was a pretty close game. I don't think the scoreboard really reflected how close it was. Second game, we won 6-1, and the third game, we won 5-2. And that 5-2 game, again, was a pretty close game. So, the girls definitely have to keep their wits about them.
It's good to see a bit of puck bounces go the Dallas Stars Elite way in that particular series. As you said, Michael, the only score that didn't tell the story was the 3-1. But much like yesterday morning, we just did not get the bounces of the things we wanted. That could have been a 4-3 hockey game in our favor. But that was the last time our young ladies unloaded on the score sheet, and let's see if they can kick off or wrap up the end of season with something similar here today. We do have somebody working the DJ booth here, so hopefully the Chinese government doesn't shut us down again for streaming the little Rob Zombie. I haven't heard Rob Zombie since high school, probably aging myself a little bit with that. But it is indeed one of those situations where it does hype up the girls in a timeless song, we'll say. Yeah. Mr. Elliott's gone ahead and got our stats up here. So as you can see, the Odessa Junior Jacks aren't tied with Amarillo, but a win is worth 3 points, and that would leapfrog them into that last and final playoff spot. Top 4 teams in this division are playing a round-robin playoff this coming weekend, and then into semis, into finals. LaFleur and Schaefer and Andrews having a big pregame chat on the back end. Love it when our defense are giving support to the goalies. Important that there's always strong communication there. Up front, we got Zakaria, Simcoe, and Gagne. Same line that was playing together last game. Here we go. Game number 3 of the weekend. Jacks gain the zone. Andrews pushes wide. Zakaria's on it. Jack swinging around into the far corner, bringing it behind the net. Centering pass. Just misses the outlet. The receiver, Simcoe, picks that up. She's driving down, trying to create some space for herself. Drives around 2 defenders, looking for an opportunity. There's a shot. And a big save early for the Junior Jacks. Because Mr. Elliott doesn't have any additional side games to watch, we will have stats, I believe, this game maybe. There's the draw back to the point for LaFleur. LaFleur, she tries to unload on one. Unfortunately, it was a bouncing puck. 3-on-2 the other way now. Here comes the Junior Jacks, gaining the zone, driving down the left wing. Looking for an opportunity. There's a shot. And swallowed up by Schaefer for her first save of the game. Am I going to be right in your way here if I'm down here, there, Mr. Gagne? Are we good?
You're good.
How about you, Brendan? Am I right? There's the draw, back to the point. Bounces across the neutral zone. Over to Salzburg. Salzburg on the back puck battle on the near wall. Able to gain the zone. Bucko in to help now too. Jacks are all swarming. If we can get an outlet pass, there is the outlet pass I was talking about. Beautifully over to Grahovic from Isaac. That's interrupted as they gain the zone though. Back the other way come the Junior Jacks. Junior Jacks coming in on Isaac. Isaac steady as she goes with a poke check to disrupt that zone entry up to Salzburg. Salzburg lead pass to Bucko. Bucko, she's going to drive around her defenders down the right wing. Cuts back into the middle. What a move by Bucko. 2 moves. Gets it on net and quickly covered by the Junior Jacks tender. With Salzburg swarming, looking for an opportunity to knock home his first goal of the game. Bucko's staying out there, had some kind of equipment change going on. In for the draw, wins it over to Salzburg. That bounces off the wall awkwardly though. Ends back to the point. Isaac, she takes a shot, deflected by the Jacks. And great athleticism by the Junior Jacks goaltender, switching directions on a butterfly slide, mid-slide. Gets a toe on it, big save. Jacks, they're through the neutral zone. Here comes the Jacks, driving down the left wing. Looking to get around Biederman, dumps it in deep. Isaac picks that up. Isaac, she cuts back. Isaac's going to go first skate. Isaac sees an opportunity, drives down, up through the middle. Now down the right wing. She's got Bucko trading. Isaac end-to-end, takes a shot. Another big save by the Junior Jacks goaltender. They look for an outlet pass that's just out of the reach of his line mate. And they wave off icing. Biederman now, she's got time. Picks it up behind the net, has a look at her options. Throws it off the wall up to Salzburg. Salzburg tries to dance out. That's interrupted by a back checker. Jacks go back into their own zone. Looking for a breakout. Jacks up through the neutral zone now. Grahovic over there to interrupt that attempted zone entry. Puck ends up in the Stars bench. There's a replay of that save.
Maybe.
Oh, just a hair miss time. Brendan must be still a little too excited about the Team USA win earlier today. He's not quite settled for replays. There's the draw. Jacks control. They dump it in deep. Shortino gives chase. She's going to pick that up in the near corner. Shortino has a look at her options. Fires it up. Finds Stanton, but then she's checked. Elliott now. Elliott dumps it. We've got Elliott, Clark, and Stanton up front. Shortino and Mason on point. Pressuring is Elliott. Forces the Jacks to switch directions. Onto the point. Shortino holds the zone. Jacks, there's an opportunity. Oh, Stanton there. Back checking's Elliott. That kicks into the near corner. Got a foot race. Jacks will get there first. Shortino rubs out the Jacks player. Good body position on her part. Centering pass right onto the stick. Oh, just through the stick of Elliott. But Stanton's got it. Stanton throws one into the timekeeper's bench, making sure he's paying attention. Rolling puck for Stanton. Here's the replay we wanted earlier. Yes, the deflected mid-flight, and just as the goalie was committing to the left, he was able to cut back and get a pad on that. Good save. Zakaria, Simcoe, Gagne out there. Zakaria off the draw. She's trying to drive around her defender. Able to shake him, pushes it in deep. Gagne to the front of the net. Outlet pass by the Jacks all the way up to the boards. Pinching there is Lafleur doing a good job holding the line. Puck spits into the neutral zone. Back to Andrews now. Andrews has a look, keeps her head up, bounces it off the boards. Trying to hit Zakaria on the run, just out of her reach though. Jacks regrouping in the neutral zone. Lead pass to the outlet. That's picked off by Simcoe. Simcoe now. Simcoe changing directions. Gaining the zone of the Jacks. Takes the shot. Off the paddle of the Jacks goaltender. Ends up at Lafleur. Lafleur, she throws it toward the net. Onto Zakaria's stick. Zakaria, she's checked. Jacks trying to drive down the right wing. Zakaria back checking. Lafleur picks it up on her backhand. Outlet pass, that's unfortunately picked off. The Jacks at a good position there. There's a shot from the Jacks. Bouncing puck. Schaefer steady as she goes. A little slide to the left and a quick trapper to whistle it down. This is the third game of the weekend for both these teams. Our pace isn't feeling quite what it normally is, so something about an 8 a.m. stop. Oh, there's a great opportunity for the Jacks off the pad of Schaefer and kick through the high slot. Salzburg pumps the brakes on the zone entry because Bucko was caught up. Good poise by her. Now she's in. Salzburg's in. Driving in on the backhand, forehand. Takes the shot. What a fantastic effort from Salzburg. She was coming down the left wing full speed. Ends up catching Bucko a little ahead. Had to pump the brakes at the blue line. Lets Bucko touch up. And then drives through two defenders. Gets a backhand shot on net. Good action here.
Yeah, and great job by the goaltender getting over. I really thought she'd have that backhand.
There's a draw into the high slot. Bucko's got it. Salzburg's going for a picnic out front. Not able to get it to her though. Puck's out. Beat him into holding. Trying to hold it in, and it's just a bit outside. .9:59 here left in the first. Shot 6-3 in favor of the Stars. Salzburg driving in behind the net. Jacks. They come out with it. Here comes the Jacks. 3-on-2 unfolding. Into the zone they go. Down the left wing. Gets around Biederman. Onto the backhand. Number 11 with the Jacks. There's a shot deflected. Good save by Schaefer. Puck ends up behind the net with Isaac. Isaac now. She's driving down the right wing. Isaac. Lead pass up to Salzburg. And a solid back check by the Junior Jacks to interrupt that lead pass. On to Bucko now. Bucko tries to fire one over to Salzburg. Bouncing puck though over her stick. Outlet pass up to the half wall. On to Grahovic's stick. Grahovic to Salzburg. Salzburg takes a shot. Another pad save by that goaltender. Isaac picks it up in her backhand. Jacks gain the zone. Coming down the right wing is the Jacks. Back checking is Elliott. Fresh legs on a line change. Up to Salzburg now. Salzburg, Scott Grahovic if she can get it over there. Have a look to the, oh, sorry, there isn't a Jacks defender there. Gains the zone though. Here's Salzburg not giving up on it. Centering pass to Grahovic. Oh, and it just bounces off her stick. Those two have tried to connect. That's the third time this weekend where they've had beautiful centering passes. All the way back into the Star zone. Mason does a shoulder check, looks at her options. She's going to take it behind the net. She's getting harassed by a Jack. Trying to come out with it. Jacks have it. Got a shot from an off angle. Battle on the side of the net, and Schaefer says, that's enough. Let's whistle this down. Elliott in on the draw. Clark and Stanton out to join here. There's a shot from the points from the Jack. Loose out front, another shot. Good save by Schaefer. Another loose puck. Jack still pressuring. Jacks. There's a centering pass into the crease, through the crease. Third opportunity, another save by Schaefer. Here comes Clark. Clark, lead pass to Stanton. Stanton's got it. Here's a break for Stanton. Stanton on a breakaway. Stanton skated up. She's getting hooked. She's getting hooked. And no, ref lets it all go. Over the top hook on that breakaway attempt by Stanton. Stanton tries to find Shortino. That's interrupted. Here comes the Jacks, gaining the zone, 3-on-2. Driving down the right wing. Look for a centering pass that goes in behind the net. They throw it up. Here comes Clark. Oh, Clark just about hit Stanton in stride there. Battle on the half wall. Puck kicks out. All the way back it goes. Mason on it now. Mason pressuring the Jacks. There's the puck through the crease. Stanton decides to relieve some pressure and throws it into the neutral zone. Whistle down for an offside with 7:02 left here in the first, and some pretty good action there, Michael.
Yeah, really good opportunities on both sides, really.
The Jacks goalie's made a few big saves. Schaefer wasn't called upon early, but the last couple minutes she's been called upon and doing well.
Yeah, I want to see the replay on that save again. That was great.
Here comes Zakaria. Zakaria driving down the right wing, shakes one Jack, wants to cut through another. Onto her backhand, back to her forehand. Zakaria rifles one just high. Good movement by her. Nice puck control. Centering pass. Tries to get it over to Gagne. Andrews now. Andrews sends one in deep. Hope for a touch, but that'll be an offside and come all the way back down. All right, here's that replay. Zakaria driving in. Good movements by her. Well-positioned goaltender and ends up having to shoot it a bit high. Zakaria on the draw. Tripped up, leaving the zone. Back to her feet, though. Zakaria driving through. Gains the zone. Here comes Zakaria. Still getting harassed. Zakaria trying to find her teammates. Sends it back to the point. Andrews now. Andrews sends it back to Zakaria. Zakaria again. Back to Lafleur. Lafleur, she takes the shot. Bouncing puck. Picked up by the Jacks. Sends it off the off wing. Coming in on the left now. Andrews pushing that Jacks wide. Through the crease, deflected out front. Simcoe comes, picks up that trash. She's going to go for a skate. She's got Gagne with her, pushes around. Gagne going to the front of the net. Simcoe down the right wing. Oh, and a great stick by that Jacks player. Ends up on Zakaria's stick. Zakaria's shot. Another one high. Jacks regain control, send it up into the neutral zone, and ends up on Biederman. Biederman up to Gagne. Gagne over to Simcoe. Just out of Simcoe's reach, though, all the way back to Isaac now. Isaac, she sends it up to Zakaria. Little neutral zone patty cake, as I call it. Here's an opportunity for Salzburg. Salzburg picks it up. Nice move by Salzburg, getting around the defender, trying to get a shot off. Great back checking by the Jacks to negate that opportunity, but here's Bucko now. Bucko, she's coming in. Bucko takes the shot. That's high. Comes all the way around to Isaac. Isaac in her feet. Jacks gain control, and outlet pass down to the right wing. Jacks coming down the right. Isaac back checking. Pumped on the brakes as the Jacks back to their forehand. Takes a shot. Tries to get a deflection to go. Here comes Grahovic. Grahovic and Salzburg coming in. Grahovic driving wide. 2-on-1 now. Grahovic takes the shot. Loose puck for Salzburg. Kicked away by the Jacks and off into the near corner. Battle on the near half wall now. It comes out. Here comes Isaac. She steps up. Throws it toward the net on her backhand. Tried to be deflecting it was Bucko. And not quite able to get it redirected the way she wanted. Here comes the Jacks now, the other way. Coming in on Biederman, 3-on-1. Oh, 3-on-2. Isaac got back to support. There's a shot. Off the paddle of Schaefer. She knocks it into the far corner. Biederman looks for an outlet pass. Puck still loose. Loose out front. Backhand. What a save by Schaefer. Another great save by Schaefer. Absolutely shutting the door. Mackenzie Schaefer show all day long. Wow, that was impressive. Let's see that replay. This all unfolded. Mackenzie comes across the crease. There's the bouncing puck, dives out, shuts the door with the blocker, and then continues to stand tall during an onslaught of shots by the Jacks. Back to the point. Won by the Stars. They kick it over to the far corner. Centering pass to the Jacks. Oh, they almost stuck another one home. Stanton, she looks to clear it out. Ends up on Elliott's stick. Elliott, she drives in and just catches each other offside. I thought it was going to be close. Brendan, let's see that replay one more time. That was a really impressive save by Schaefer. She's hugging the post in the RVH, deflects out front, and the tip that was coming from the Jacks player gets across to put her trapper on it. What a great save by Schaefer. Jacks gain the zone. They punch it into the deep corner. Jacks centering pass, paddled away by Schaefer. Still loose out front though. Scramble. Mason on it now. Mason battling with two Jacks behind the net. Throw it around to the point. Clark's there to try to break that up. Jack's still pressing. Up to the point. Jack's able to hold his own. They send it in deep back to Mason. Mason in the far corner. Mason takes a moment, throws it off the board, tries to find Clark. Battle continuing. Puck finally spits out. Jack's able to hold his own. Now it's picked out. They throw it toward the net. And Schaefer decides to cover that up for a whistle. with 2:53 left here in the first in a 0-0 hockey game. Draw one by the Jacks. There's a shot in behind the net. Out front. Onto the Jacks again. Another backhand by the Jacks. Lafiere's got it now behind the net. Lafiere goes for a skate, driving down the right wing. She kicks it up all the way to the neutral zone. Jacks now. They dump it into the far corner. Andrews in pursuit. Andrews going to pick it up. Throws it behind the net all the way around over to Gagne. Gagne, little chip off the boards. Gets it up into the neutral zone. She's got 3 Jacks hovering around her, though. Into support now is Zakaria and Simcoe. Zakaria with it. Zakaria drives around 3 defenders. Takes the backhand and a beautiful top right corner goal. That play unfolded starting behind the net with Andrews. Sending it up the boards. Gagne picks it up on her backhand. Chips it up into the neutral zone. Battles with 3 Jack players. Able to get the puck onto Zakaria's stick. Zakaria takes it the rest of the way. Drives around. And here's that beautiful backhand. Top corner. Beautifully done. And the 2 unsung heroes on that one's going to be the smart play by Andrews and the hard work by Gagne. And of course, Zakaria making no mistake to put the finishing touches on a 1-0 hockey game. There's a shot and a glove saved by Schaefer. Tell you what, Michael, this game could easily be 1-0 the opposite.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Jacks came out real strong like we thought they would. So this, game's far from over.
There's a draw back to the Jacks. Jacks with the shot. Blocker off Mackenzie. Loose out front. Off the crossbar. Bouncing puck. Isaac able to get that out of harm's way. Scramble behind the net. Here comes Salzburg now. Salzburg driving down the left wing. Into the far corner. Jacks pressing to Salzburg. Puck still loose. Salzburg's on it. Bucko comes in to help. Bucko now under Salzburg. There's still a loose puck. Jacks tried to clear it up to the half wall. Isaac tries to step up. Here comes the Jacks. 2-on-1 unfolding. Jacks lead cross ice pass. A good stick by Biederman to negate that zone entry. Isaac now. Isaac looks to fire it around. He's going to find Grahovic on the far half wall. There's a shot through the slot. Salzburg. Here comes Salzburg. Skates through 2 defenders. She's got Grahovic going to the front of the net if she can shake that last defender, but not quite. Grahovic on it now, though. Grahovic throws it into the slot, off the couple legs, though. And it bounces all the way out into the neutral zone here. Quickly back-checking is Salzburg. She finds Isaac. Isaac throws it all the way down. They call touch, so no icing. Jacks pick it up behind their net. Looking for an outlet pass. Good stick by Salzburg, and Isaac holds his zone and throws it in deep. Shot off the wall all the way down. They're going to call touch there as well. Isaac's first to the puck. Isaac picks it up behind her net. Jacks quickly on her. Held in the zone by the Jacks defender. Now it kicks up. Here comes the Jacks. Opportunity high slot. There's a shot. Deflected. Goes over the net. Grahovic now. She tries to send it up. And that'll do it for the first period. 1-0 on the board in favor of the Stars. Shot 16-10 in favor of the Jacks, though. And what a period of action that was, Michael.
Yeah, it's been an exciting hockey game so far. And it's funny, I know this is the hometown broadcast, so don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining at all. But we know what it's like when you get these bouncing pucks in front of the net. From the Jacks' perspective, it's like, geez, we can't get a goal to save our lives. Feels good to get it in our favor for a change.
Must have been because I was talking about puck luck. Yeah, said a few things to the hockey gods this morning. My beloved Team Canada lost with some bad puck luck today, so let's give it to the junior Stars here instead. Hey, might as well. But all seriousness, you're absolutely right, Michael. That they hit the crossbar once. 10 out of 10 Beller saved by Schaefer there with a wide open net coming across and getting a trapper on it. It's easily 2-1 right now in favor of the Jacks. So I expect we'll see more of that in period number 2.
Yeah, for sure. And, let's hats off to the defense for taking those opportunities and getting the puck out when it counts, right? Because after McKenzie makes the first save, you've got to rely on your defense to clear that puck out of there.
That's the one that went off the crossboard and trickled through the crease. Oh, a nail biter for sure. Kicking off period number 2, we got Elliott out to center Clark and Stanton. And we've got Mason and Shortino on point. Draws one by the Jacks. They're driving in down the left wing. There's a shot through the crease. Out of the reach of his teammate though. Lead pass, nice outlet opportunity. Stanton trying to find Clark. That's interrupted though, but Clark able to dump it in. In behind the net now is the Jacks. Jacks. Couple moves, trying to shake off the pressure that Clark's providing. Jacks able to get the outlet. Good stick by Shortino, but Jacks still regain. Here comes the Jacks. High slot, there's a shot. Knocked into the corner by Schaefer. Centering pass, bouncing puck. Ends up in the near corner. Puck battle along the half wall. Here comes number 11. There's a shot and an opportunity. Rifles one. Schaefer gets just enough of that to deflect it over the boards. Another great opportunity and a high danger scoring chance for the Jacks. Let's have a look at this. There's the shot. Yes, I think it right off the paddle of her stick, I do believe. Change for the Stars. We got Zakaria coming out with Simcoe and Gagne. Zakaria tries to bump it forward. Jacks get the draw though. Get the shot off. That ends up in the far corner. Jacks, couple of moves there. Coming out from the side. Centering pass. Back to the far end. Into the half wall. There's a shot from the point for the Jacks. Bouncing puck. Loose out front. Schaefer knocks that down for her 19th save of the game. On pace for a 40 shot count here. I think our ladies are going to have to tighten up the defense a little bit and keep pushing those Jacks wide. Jacks still pressuring. There's a shot off Schaefer into the far half wall. Simcoe's on it now. She gets it up to Gagne. Gagne picks it up to the left wing. Gagne quickly hassled by a couple Jacks. On to Simcoe's stick again. Simcoe coming through. Jacks pick it up. They send it into the neutral zone. Andrews tries to find Lafleur up to Gagne. Gagne gains the zone. Jacks shoot it right back though. Zakaria, she's coming in. Shakes a defender. Zakaria, high slot. There's a shot. Blockered and gloved by the Jacks tender. And Michael, is that the first shot of the period for us?
I believe so. And the first half of the first period, we were ahead of in shots on goal.
Yeah, it's been all Jacks here to start period 2. Here comes the Jacks. Pick it up behind their net. Good stick by Simcoe. Simcoe an opportunity. There's a shot. Another opportunity for Simcoe. Simcoe standing her ground on that breakout. Lafleur tries to step up. Just out of her reach, trying to hold the zone. Zakaria on it now. Zakaria gets it over to Simcoe. Simcoe drives down the left. Turns back, looking at her options. Saucer pass back to Andrews. Oh, great idea by Simcoe. And unfortunately, the bouncing pack from Andrews not quite able to hold. Andrews up to Zakaria. Zakaria. Check, but she regains control. And they're going to call that an offside.
That line needed a change anyway. So I'm glad they just got the whistle.
Bucko, Grahovic, and Salzburg out up front now with fresh legs that, as Gagne noted, was needed. Isaac and Biederman on point. Zone gained by Grahovic. In comes Bucko to support. Bucko on her check. Grahovic now. Grahovic centering pass right over the stick of Salzburg. Zone held by Isaac. Back getaway come the Jacks. Here comes the Jack with some speed through the neutral zone. Driving wide, push him in, beat him in, pushing him wide. Ends up in the far corner. Lafleur or Isaac throws it. Sorry, Isaac throws it all the way down. That's going to be perfect curling draw weight, not an icing. See if our ladies can pressure the Jacks on this one. There's the puck thrown up to the half wall. Stepping up is Isaac, able to hold the zone. Jacks, now they get it out. Oh, into the feet of Isaac. Here comes Bucko. Bucko with speed into the high slot. Winds one up, takes a shot. Big save by that goaltender. Bucko's got a rocket. Grahovic now. Jacks end up checking. Here they come with some speed. Lead pass through the slot, trying to find number 32. A little out of his reach, bouncing puck. Isaac quickly there to recover. There's a centering pass. Trickles out front. Jumping on that puck is Schaefer. There's the replay. Here comes Bucko with a really strong shot. Goaltender got just enough of it to knock it off to the side. Elliott's out there now with Clark and Stanton up front. Jacks control it off the draw, back to the point. Net a shot from the point. That's picked off by Elliott. Elliott now coming up through the neutral zone with some speed. Elliott's going to drive around the defender. Goes wide. Elliott on the right wing takes the shot. Oh, deflected. Centering pass from Elliott. Loose for Clark. Still loose. It's unfortunate. That was a great shift. Elliott driving through the neutral zone. Gets a quality shot off. Clark wisely crashing the net. Almost picks up a rebound there. There's the draw. Won by the Jacks. In behind the net. Jacks. Lead pass out to the right wing. They throw one through the neutral zone. Good back check by Elliott, though, to break up that lead pass. Mason has a lead pass of her own deflected away. There's a good stick. Paisley, Shortino picks it up. Shortino. She comes into the high slot with some speed. Shortino. Centering pass. What a toe save by that goaltender. Picked up by Elliott now. Elliott on the half wall. She's got time. Gives it back to Mason. Nice poise by Mason. Gets her on one defender. Mason throws it toward the net. Tried to find Clark on her backhand. Now the Jacks the other way, down the left wing. Here comes the Jacks, number 36. There's a shot. Schaefer patiently waits and grabs that glove, cool as a cucumber. 9:51 left here in the second. Stars able to do their own push for the last few shifts, so draws controlled by the Stars, won by the Jacks, but here comes Zakaria. Zakaria up to herself, trying to get an opportunity under her backhand, under her forehand. Zakaria takes the shot over to Simcoe. There it is, loose puck on the side of the net. Gagne trying to get it home. And the Jacks able to get behind the net. Back to Simcoe now. Simcoe, she's got it in the corner, fires it toward the net. That's deflected into the far half wall. Lafleur holds his own, sends it back deep. Gagne is in pursuit now. Jacks, they throw it up. Lafleur does a pinch. Jacks trying to get it over on an outlet pass, but Zakaria is back checking. Here comes Zakaria. Zakaria gains his own, loses it, but picks it back up. There's a centering pass, trying to find Gagne. Lafleur's going to step up. Lafleur trying to hold it. Lafleur does hold it that time. On to Zakaria. Zakaria loads one up on the forehand. Simcoe with a shot and a goal! Just continued pressure that shift. Started with Lafleur stepping up to pinch in to hold his own. Good decision by her, keeping that pressure in. Zakaria ends up with it. Throws it toward the front of the net. Simcoe's able to grab it. Finds the back of the net right along the ice. Hard-working goal. And we got a 2-0 hockey game. Here comes Grahovic. Grahovic on her backhand. She's hooked. Takes the shot. Just about gets it to go. even though she was getting harassed. Foot race into the far corner. Isaac beats him though. She throws it up the half wall. That's picked up by the Jacks. Jacks from the half wall, they take the shot. Schaefer with their 21st stop of the game. Jacks win the draw. They throw it through into the group of folks in the high slot. Doesn't get through. Jacks again now on the half wall. That's kicked out. Jacks defense is going to have to come back for it. Grahovic on the forecheck knocks it in. And they'll call that an offside. Well, Michael, seems like everything I'm talking about. Last time I talked about the shots being in favor. Our Stars have been balancing that out. Coming back. Grahovic gains his own. But here comes the Jacks the other way. Jacks throw one, bouncing puck. Schaefer decides, let's freeze it for a whistle.
I speak for the folks at home when I say thank you, Brody. I appreciate you calling that and do the reverse announcer jinx.
Hey, no problem, no problem. I'll think what else I can. It's got to be timely, all right? I probably only have 3 of these little genies in the bottle, so I better use the 3rd one wisely. Back to the point, there's a shot. Outlet pass by Clark over to Elliott. Deflects off her. Into the neutral zone battle we go. Jacks the other way now, though. Jacks, here they come. They take the shot. Good shot block. Now it gets through. Schaefer with a paddle to knock that over into the near corner. Puck spits all the way back. Splits the 2D on Odessa. Junior Jacks throw it right back in. Shortino's going to have some time. She picks it up on her backhand behind the net with some speed. Rips one off the boards, trying to find Clark, and does. Clark chips it around. Here comes Clark. She's got 2 others if she can get to it. Just a little out of her reach, though. Jacks, centering pass, finds it. Off his skate to his stick. Jacks still pressuring. Great job by Shortino, making sure that Jacks couldn't get a quality pass. There's a shot from the point, bouncing puck. Schaefer jumps on another one. Little stick work between number 20 on Odessa and Shortino. Zakaria in to take the draw. Lafleur picks it up. Tries to get it up at the half wall. Here comes Zakaria. Zakaria chips around. We got a 2-on-1 unfolding. Zakaria coming in. Drives to the front. Zakaria takes a shot and a goal. Zakaria chips it around the defender in their own defensive zone. Creates a 2-on-1 opportunity, then uses their speed and just explodes up the heart. Finds that top right corner. Beautiful goal to make it 3-0 Stars. And Michael, that just might be what takes the wind out of the Jack sails here.
Yeah, that's pretty demoralizing, especially if we go into intermission up in a shutout.
Zakaria again takes a shot, another glove saved by the goaltender. Andrews and Lafleur on point. Zakaria gets it over to Gagné. Gagné throws it on net. Hovering there was Simcoe, but quickly covered by the Jacks tender. Zakaria with the win, throws one on net. Netter saved by the tender. Another opportunity for Zakaria. Keeps driving it toward the net. Jacks throw it back to Lafleur. Lafleur throws one on net. Simcoe now. Simcoe. She's getting checked in the corner. Simcoe battling back though. Here comes the Jacks. Jacks 3-on-2 through the neutral zone. Back checking Zakaria. There's a shot from the Jacks. Oh, off the leg of LaFear. That one's stinging. Back the other way comes Simcoe. Simcoe. And we'll have a look. Hopefully LaFear's all right there. I'm not sure if that was puck only or possibly a stick on a follow-through. Regardless, it's definitely that leg that she took it on there. Yeah, I think it might have been... You think you got it, Brendan? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, it was all puck. And unfortunately, it caught right as LaFear was rotating. Exposed the back of that leg, and you definitely have no padding there. Especially if you take that in a tendon or ligament or something, it bites. Shot blocking clinics next practice Monday night. I think LaFear usually does square up to him, and she was just rotating, thinking that guy was cutting to the left on her. Hopefully she's going to be okay today. Here comes the Stars through the neutral zone. Driving up. Salzburg looks for a centering pass, gets it to Bucko. Bucko almost able to tuck that in. The deflection goes just wide though. Back to the point, Biederman, she throws it in. Down to the stick of Salzburg. Centering pass to Bucko. Little out of her reach. Jacks lose their stick, but they gain the neutral zone. Here comes the Jacks. Throws one toward the net. Schaefer covers that up.
I love Salzburg looking for Bucko out front. That was a great look, and actually twice when Grohovic came across, same thing. They're working really well together in front of the crease.
Yeah, just waiting for them to connect, and I think this will be the one. Here comes Grohovic. Grohovic drives it into corner. She's got Salzburg out front. There's a centering pass. Salzburg, there's the connection I was looking for. No, let's happen out now, girls. Keep working. What a brilliant play. I just love to see the dynamic of these three out there, constantly heads on a swivel, looking for each other. Grohovic drives that deep into the corner, throws it out to Salzburg.
We've seen that one before, I thought.
We've seen that one before. Here's the replay. Grohovic right there. Salzburg's going to want 3 of those back. Would have been 3 goals this weekend. Tell you what, they keep working like that, it'll go. That's the puck luck that we were talking about before. Here comes the Jacks, driving down. Ends up onto Shortino's stick. Shortino, outlet pass, tries to find Elliott. Bounces through her skates into the far corner. Shortino on it again though. Shortino jockeying for position back there. Gets some help from Elliott. Here comes Elliott. Elliott using her speed comes through the neutral zone. Elliott now. Elliott drives it wide. Elliott has a look. There's a shot. Loose puck out front. Who's going to get it home, girls? Tuck that home. Loose still buck. Elliott, there's a goal. No, it's not. Come on now. So close. Getting too excited. Elliott trying to find the front of the net from her knees. There's a shot and a goal! Finally, after grinding it out in front of that net with numerous shot attempts, that whole play unfolded with Shortino in our own end battling for position against the Odessa Jacks. Then Elliott skates it end to end. Here's the finishing touches courtesy of the replay. Off the save, numerous opportunities. Elliott from her knees gets it out front to Stanton, and Stanton bangs it home. Wow, what a goal, and what a great team effort across the board. Back in comes the Jacks. There's a shot from the Jacks. Great toe save by Schaefer. She kicks it over to the near half wall. Jacks in from the high slot. There's a shot, and they finally solved Schaefer's riddle. It took them 27 shots to get there.
Yeah, Schaefer didn't even see that one. Complete surprise when it hit the back of the neck.
Yeah, come fully screened. We saw one of those fully screened on Ellen earlier today.
Yep, same thing. Yeah. You can't do anything about that.
Good shot. She has been standing tall. Zakaria back out there now. with Simcoe and Gagne. Jacks gain the zone. Zacks come through. Cross ice pass. Here's the Jacks again. Opportunity. There's a shot. That goes wide. Ends up on the near half wall. Another shot toward the net. Loose puck out front. Cleared out of harm's way is Lafleur. And now Simcoe. Simcoe. She comes up the ice. Simcoe driving wide and right. She's got Gagne going to the front of the net. Simcoe takes a shot. That's deflected into the far corner. Lafleur's trying to step up to hold the zone, and she does. Here's an opportunity. There's another shot by Simcoe, deflected. And the goaltender comes up with his 25th save of the game, also putting on a clinic.
Yeah, and going back to that really hard-working goal by Paisley's line, one thing that we haven't really talked about is the girls are really good about puck battles on the boards. And we saw that against the Brahmas, too. They're really coming out with them great.
Draw one back to Lafleur. Lafleur throws it toward the net, and that's interrupted. Jacks through the neutral zone on a 3-on-2 now. Jacks driving down the left wing, pumps the brakes, waits for his trailers. Unfortunately, the trailers also included our hard-working forwards who are back-checking. Here comes Andrews now. Andrews, she's going to skate it in. She's getting harassed by a couple Jacks. She pushes it deep, though. Andrews is going to keep skating on it. In behind the net. It's the Jacks. They throw it up to the half wall. They chip it out. 2-on-1 unfolding. Oh, back-checking is Andrews. Cross-ice pass from the Jacks, trying to find his teammate. Throw in one out front. Bouncing puck. Still in the crease. Loose. And the Jacks get another one. And just like that, we have what Michael calls the worst lead in hockey, which is a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Jacks aren't giving up yet. This game means something for them. They're going to fight it out to the very end.
Let's see how our Stars rebound here. We got 1:59 left on this clock for the second period. Buckle's back out there with Salzburg and Grahovic. Jacks gain the zone off the draw. Biederman and Isaac on point. Bucko in behind the net. Bucko can absolutely fly. See if she's got the rockets on her skates. She sure does. Gets around a couple defenders. Bucko takes the shot. That's blockered away by the goaltender over the net. Salzburg now. She's checked. Jacks try an outlet pass. That's going to go all the way down, and we should have an offensive zone draw with a $1:24 on the clock. I tell you what, Michael, a late goal here by the Stars could also keep that momentum back in our direction.
Absolutely, Brody, for sure.
Bucko on the draw, wins it cleanly over to Salzburg. Salzburg tees it up for Isaac. Isaac throws it toward the net. Loose in the crease. Salzburg's back on it now. And Jacks getting it out of harm's way just barely. Back check in. Isaac. Isaac tries to throw one up in to gain the zone. Grahovic there now, though. Grahovic. Over to the Jacks. Jacks take the shot. And Schaefer makes another save. Shots 29-29. Got ourselves a hockey game here. I think both coaches would like to see things tighten up a little defensively and not so many opportunities on either side. Elliott out to take the draw. Wins a clean one. Gets it over to Mason. Mason in a battle now, though. Jacks quickly on her. Oh, here comes Stanton, the goal scorer. Stanton, she drives in, looks to get around the defender. Clark going toward the net. Elliott out front as well. Stanton throws it into the high slot. There it's loose. On to Clark's stick. Still loose puck. Jack's trying to get it out of the way. Mason able to hold his own. She throws it in. Clark pressuring now. Jack's able to get it into the neutral zone. Shortino will regroup. Shortino tries to throw it up. She gets tied up with the Jacks player. Back checking is Elliott, though. Elliott lobs one up the ice. It should be a nice draw weight. In comes Shortino, pressuring on the forecheck. Shortino saying, what the heck, I want to have an offensive shift this game. There's Mason. She takes a shot. Another opportunity. Stanton now swaps out with Shortino. It's not often you see an offensive forecheck from the defense, but obviously Shortino and Stanton had a talk. And Michael, I tell you what I want to talk about quickly is what you already pointed out, and I was calling on that replay. But it's those individual battles that mean so much. And that goal that was scored when Elliott was on her knees out to Salzburg started with a battle with Shortino in behind the net in our own zone. That battle.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's exactly the battle I was talking about. And we've seen a lot of that this weekend.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that, you forget about when you see all the hardworking girls up at the net.
Yes.
But that's where it started.
100%. And Shortino's name will not show up on the score sheet for that. But the reality is, Paisley would have never got that puck on her stick to go through the neutral zone. And Paisley worked it well. She came down with some speed. And I think Brennan's going to show us here. Here's the battle. Elliott back there. She's got 2 stars on her. Able to kick it over. Elliott picks it up. And then Elliott skates around her defender. Brings it all the way up ice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Elliott, in our own end, when they had the barrage and I called the goal no goal, she had her own battle behind the net and centers it from her knees. I actually flashed back to the 2010 Winter Olympics. Jerome McGinley was on his knees on the half wall, centering pass to a young man named Sidney Crosby at the time. And that was the golden goal.
Hey, you had to flash back to that, make yourself feel a little better.
100%, Michael, 100%. Here comes the draw. Out up front. Stars gain the zone and control it early. Jacks are going to regroup in their far corner. Throw it up to the half wall. Zakaria on that. She's pressuring. Up into the neutral zone. All the way across. Lafleur there now. Lafleur pushes the Jacks wide. Good job by her. Sends it up to the half wall. A little out of reach though. Back to the point. Jacks take the shot. Deflected by Simcoe. Here's the Jacks again. Another shot and an absolute bullet into that top left corner. And just like that, we got ourselves a 1-goal hockey game. Number 11 with the Jacks has a high danger scoring opportunity and just rockets a wrist shot right over Schaefer's left shoulder. Jacks gain the zone. Biederman's got it though. Biederman looks to get it out. Jacks able to hold his own though. Jacks take another shot, deflected off Biederman, bouncing puck through the crease. Throw it back to the point. Here comes Salzburg. Salzburg now driving in. She's checked. Salzburg pushes it in deep. Bucko's there to help out. Bucko on her backhand. Centering pass, deflected off the side of the net. Jacks cleared around the near half wall. Isaac holds his zone. Tries a lead outlet pass down the right wing. Jacks in behind their net. Bucko there, leaves it for Isaac. Isaac throws it back around to Grahovic. Grahovic just out of her reach. Jacks hold the zone. It's loose in the slot. Another opportunity for the Jacks. Big save by Schaefer. Another opportunity right up front for the Jacks. There's a shot and another goal as number 36 wide open right in front of Schaefer and roofs one right over her shoulder. We got ourselves a tied hockey game. There's the first save by Schaefer. She kicks it off to the side. Comes out, all kinds of space and time. Biederman tries to jump on it. But outnumbered out front was Biederman as 2 Jacks were having a picnic. And they make no mistake, it's 4-4. Elliott's out there now with Stanton and Clark. Shortino holds his own, throws it toward the net. Tip attempt by Clark just out of her reach. Outlet pass, that's disrupted by Stanton. Jacks now, lead pass, coming into the neutral zone. Here comes the Jacks. Toss it over. Clark's got it. Here comes Clark. She throws it down. in behind the net. Shortino holds his zone. Jack's able to clear it out now. Mason's going to give chase. Rolling puck. She picks it up, though. Settles it down and takes it in behind the net. Mason. Lead pass up to Zakaria. Zakaria evades a check there. Comes through the neutral zone. Here comes Zakaria. Onto her backhand. Zakaria goes around the net. She's checked. Up through the neutral zone. Simcoe now. Simcoe over to Gagne. Here comes Gagne. Take a shot, Gagne. Go for it, girl. Yes, she does. Simcoe was hovering, looking for a rebound. .11:48. I tell you what now, Michael, those first few saves that Schaefer had in period number 1, that much more meaningful here at a 4-4 hockey game.
Absolutely.
Zakaria on the draw, won by the Jacks. Jacks in behind their net. That's picked off by Simcoe. Simcoe takes a shot. Out front for Gagne. Gagne shovels it just wide. Into the far corner. Gagne and Zakaria, they come out with it. Back to the point for Mason. Mason, she takes a shot. That's deflected by the Jacks out front. Jacks try to throw it back. Mason. Here's a lead pass opportunity. Here comes the Jacks. Trying to gain the zone, they do. Shortino and Mason shutting it down. Jacks hold it at the point, send it in deep. Shortino checking the Jacks. There's a shot off the side of the net. Shortino still checking that Jack player. Gets it up to Simcoe. Simcoe, nice little dance there coming out of the zone. She's got Zakaria driving down the left. Simcoe down the right. Here comes Simcoe. Pass to Zakaria. Oh, what a brilliant setup. Big save by that goaltender. Jack's back the other way. Into the zone we go again. Here comes Simcoe. She's checked. In behind the net all the way to the far half wall. Stepping up to hold the zone is Mason. Gagne working in there too. Still holding the zone. Finally it kicks out. Zakaria waits for her teammates to touch up. Punches it in. Here comes Zakaria now. Cuts back toward the front. Zakaria getting hassled and she's hauled down. And that'll be a penalty.
Good call, ref.
And our Stars will go on the man advantage with 10-11 left here in the third. Here's the replay of that setup opportunity.
Oh, sorry.
Zakaria driving wide, or Simcoe, and she looks to find Zakaria out front. Beautiful pass. And what I love most about that is Simcoe is loading up like she was going to shoot, gets that goalie to bite, and then puts one on a plate. Served over to Zakaria, just not able to connect. Here comes the Jacks. Jacks with some speed driving down the left. Bucko back checking like crazy. There's the shot. And Schaefer comes up with a big save. Michael's quote to run him down is perfect. Bucko's got some wheels and she was hustling on that back check. Bucko on the draw. Jacks end up with it though. Jacks in the high slot. Take a shot. Deflected by Isaac. There's another shot by the Jacks. That's dumped into the corner. Gerhovic's on it. Gerhovic's getting checked. Ends up in the far corner. Jacks. Here comes Salzburg. Salzburg takes a check. Drives down the left wing. Salzburg. Poke check there. Jacks. Lead pass. Just out of the reach of his teammate, number 20. Now it's picked up by Gerhovic. Gerhovic with wheels flying into the zone. Just loses the handle a little bit. Able to get it back now, though. Here comes Gerhovic again. Gerhovic, she's tied up. Able to shake her check, but the puck was loose. Jacks grabbed the loose puck back through the neutral zone. Another lead pass. Back checking, or cross checking, I should say, in a good way. Not a cross check as a penalty, was Isaac. Here comes Salzburg. Salzburg's got Bucko. And one too many moves by Salzburg right at the line, and that'll be an offside. Yeah, I'd love to see more of that play, like that Simcoe loading up on the offside. That's a tough angle shot to score on, and wisely sends it over to Zakaria. Let's see if we see something like that again. Simcoe driving wide. She's got Elliott out front. There's a pass through the slot up to Mason. Mason takes a shot, save, rebound, backhand, big save by the goaltender, 2 in a row with Simcoe almost burying the rebound there. Coach doing a slightly new look on here. I'm not sure if this is the leftover from the power play. Jacks have it loose out front. They send it in behind the net. Mason on it. There's another opportunity. Big save by Schaefer. And what a dangerous opportunity that was. Schaefer coming up with a huge save to keep it 4-4.
What did you say to anger the hockey gods?
It's because it was talked about me. I didn't pick my third yet, so I'll get on it, Michael. I'll get on it. There's the draw. Ends up in the far corner. Elliott's on it. There's a shot. Deflected, just wide. Stanton's on it now. Outlet pass. There's a shot from the point. Schaefer tracks that all the way and decides just to freeze it. There's that replay. That loose puck and Schaefer wisely smothering it. Elliott on the draw, gets it over to Stanton. Defense holding the line. Stanton knocked right down. Hopefully she's okay. She gets rattled a little bit. Loose puck out front, trickles through the crease over to Andrews now. Andrews, she knocks it off the boards. Jack's able to hold his own. On to Stanton's stick now. Stanton throws it up, and that'll be an offside. Elliott in for the draw again. Dumps it in to the Jack zone. Jack's regrouped though. Sends it down. LaFleur gives chase into the near corner. She's got some time, has a look. She's on her backhand. Spins it back around. Tries to find Stanton on the half wall. Stanton kicks it out. Might have got away with a bit of a cross check there, but we'll take that. Yeah. Into the neutral zone the puck goes. I think maybe a little bit of a makeup call because Stanton got stood up at the line and shoved down earlier. So she says, if I'm going to take it, I'll give it. Puck thrown at the net, and when those are coming, when Schaefer can see them, she'll stop those all day. 6:53 on the clock. Zakaria on the draw. Ends up on Simcoe's stick. Simcoe. Couple moves by Simcoe. She's going to drive up the ice. Simcoe dumps it in. Gagne, Zakaria, give and chase. Here comes the Jacks. Jacks try to fire it up into the neutral zone. They get it there. Jacks swinging it across. Over to Zakaria. Zakaria. She's got it now. Good stick by Zakaria with her stick handling. Driving in. Zakaria on the offside. She's got Simcoe out front. Here's her opportunity for a tit for tat. It's over to Simcoe. Just about gets it off.
Keep doing that, girls.
Back the other way we go. Jacks dump it in deep from the corner. Zakaria's there to check though. Still the Jacks pick it up behind the net. Jacks throw through crease, wide open net, and a goal for the Jacks to take their first lead of this hockey game. Stars end up outnumbered behind the net. Lots of time. Sends the pass through to number 11. And he's got all kinds of time there. Finds the back of the net for a 5-4 hockey game. What a turn of events this period has been. Off the draw. Quick hands and quick feet by Bucko. She draws a penalty. And our Stars are going to go on a man advantage here with 5:50 left on the clock. Coach decides to leave the current line out there, which is Mason and Shortino on point, with Bucko, Salzburg, and Grahovic up front. Here we are on the power play. Back to the point. Mason, she takes the shot. Bouncing puck, ends up wide. Picked up by Salzburg now. Salzburg, she chips it behind the net. Grahovic's on it to the far corner. Grahovic centering pass. Tries to find Bucko. That's picked up by the Jacks. Stepping up is Mason to hold his zone. Now Bucko again. Bucko, great move. Here goes Bucko. What's the shot? And the goalie almost over-embellishes it right into his own net there. I love that, though. We all see Jordy do her little chicken wing once in a while. Good glove by him, keeping this a 5-4 hockey game. Back to the point. Shortino. Quick draw. Ends up able to hold the zone, but the Jacks pressuring right away. Zone gained by the Jacks. They're pushing in. Mason's on it. Mason, she throws it up. Just out of the reach of Grahovic. Grahovic gets it now, though. Grahovic knocks it through. Driving down the right wing. She's got Bucker going to the front. Grahovic driving wide. Coming in on the right. There's the shot. Loose out front. Bucko's picked it up now. Bucko from the high slot. She's looking for an opportunity. She throws it at the net. Tries to find Salzburg. Knocked wide into the near corner. Salzburg's got it. She skates it toward the net. Now Bucko's turn. Back to the point. Shortino's going to pick that up. There's a shot from Shortino. Deflected. Knocked into the near circle. Jacks finally able to release some pressure. Not quite.
Good job, Arlie.
Because Mason held his own. Here comes Salzburg. Salzburg takes the shot and another glove save. And another embellishment. I love it. That goalie is in a groove. Good hard-working shift there. 9 seconds left on the power play. We're going to get fresh legs across the board. We got Isaac and Andrews on point. And it looks like Elliott's going to play wing with Zakaria and Simcoe. Elliott now. She takes a shot through traffic. And both Simcoe and Zakaria were really hovering for a rebound there. It's too bad that we didn't get one. 1 second on the clock. See if Zakaria can get a clean win. She does. Gets it over to Elliott. Elliott tries to fire one. That's blocked, though. Jacks, they look to kick it out. Comes all the way down. Paddled away by Schaefer. She gets it over to Andrews. Andrews kicks it off the wall. Looking for a lead pass to find Elliott. They're going to call no ice there. Elliott in pursuit. Same with Simcoe. Fired around the boards. Picked up by Isaac. Isaac takes a shot. Deflected. Bouncing puck out front. Onto the stick and over the stick. Into the neutral zone now. Here's Andrews. Andrews fires one in and not quite touched up with Simcoe, so we got ourselves an offside with 3:44 on the clock. Well, Michael, I'm going to take it to the hockey gods. We're getting a late goal here with a pulled goalie. It's exactly how this is going to unfold. I'm seeing it. I'm envisioning it. We're due. Here comes the Jacks. Jacks driving down the left wing, take the shot, blockered away by Schaefer. Thrown up into the neutral zone by Stanton. Jacks regrouping. Stanton has it on the wall, dumps it back in. Jacks throw it all the way through, gets over Shortino. Shortino does a good job hustling back, though, to get that puck. Ends up in the near corner again. Mason picks it up, throws it back towards Shortino. Jacks on it now, though. Jacks trying to drive out of the corner. Shortino doing a good job hassling that Jacks player. And we'll get a whistle with exactly 3 minutes on the clock. And boy, have we had shots today. A combined shots of 79 right now. And this game's not over. Zakaria's out there with Simcoe and Gagne. Andrews now wanted to go for a skate. She got interrupted. Picked up by Simcoe. Back to the point. Zakaria. She's tripped up. No call on that. Good stick by Gagne, throwing it toward the net. Jacks. They look to fire it up. Comes all the way to neutral zone for Lafleur. Lafleur. Oh, picked off. Here comes the Jacks. Jacks, drop pass. They shoot one wide. Comes all the way wide. There's an opportunity. Push through is Simcoe. Also on it is Zakaria. Between the pair of them, are we going to stay onside? We do stay onside. Good job. Here comes Simcoe. She's got Gagne out front with Zakaria. On to Gagne. Stick Gagne. Backhand. Still loose puck. Comes all the way back to Lafleur. Lafleur, she takes a shot. That's deflected. And Jack's able to regroup, get it all the way into the neutral zone, relieve some pressure. Quickly on it is Lafleur, though. Lafleur, she backhands it into the offensive zone. They call no ice. Zakaria and Gagne give chase. 1:48 on the clock. In behind the net now. Gagne's. She's got it. Gagne gets it over to Zakaria. Now it's kicked loose. Jack's able to pick it up. Lead pass all the way through the neutral zone. A 3-on-2 unfolding in favor of the Jacks. Jacks gain the zone. Stepping up was Isaac. And easily gloved by Schaefer. She whistles it down. There was that opportunity for Gagne. She almost finds the back of the net, and a great pad save by the goaltender. Bucko's out there with Salzburg and Grahovic. Here's Bucko with some speed trying to get out of the zone. Salzburg's got it. On her backhand, on her forehand. Here's Isaac. Isaac now. Isaac wanting to go for a skate. Oh, a little rough stuff along the boards. Isaac picks it up. Now Salzburg. Salzburg, she gains the zone. Salzburg takes the shot. Hovering for a rebound was Grahovic, but that goaltender covers that up. 1 minute left to play in regulation. Timeout, Stars. And I got a hunch we're going to see a goalie pull. And I got a hunch we're going to see that goal I was talking about, Michael. This was my third genie in the bottle. I said we'd need it.
Right for two, buddy.
Yeah.
The other perspective is we've already used up all of our luck. So
You know what? Brendan might be good on the audio and the visual, but he sure is Debbie Downer in here. We need to spice up the positivity in the broadcast booth.
honestly, let's see that Bucko, Grahovic, Salzburg line. Let's keep Isaac in.
And I'm picking Elliott as our next extra skater. Let's see who they bring out. Bucko, Grahovic. Looks like we got Stanton. Yep, Grahovic's line's out there for sure. There's the draw. One by the Jacks, but pressuring is the Stars. Stars on it. Able to hold his own back to the point for Isaac. Isaac takes a shot. That's blocked. Still loose puck. They take a shot all the way down the ice, and that'll be an icing call. Salzburg, Bucko, Simcoe, Grahovic up front. Isaac. We're actually pressuring everybody at the net. Isaac's on point by herself. I love the structure coach is going with here. Back to Isaac. Isaac takes the shot through traffic. Oh, and I thought that was going in. Oh my gosh, there's a centering pass, deflected. Still pressuring Salzburg. Salzburg has a look. She gets it over to Bucko. Back to Salzburg. Salzburg gets it back. Held in by Isaac. Isaac throws it in deep. 20 seconds on the clock. In behind the net. Pressuring. Here's an opportunity. Still working on the wall. Back to the point. Here comes Isaac. 9 seconds. There's the shot. Bouncing puck. And unfortunately, that might do it. 2-1. Just wide. And unfortunately, my hope on the opportunities, I sure thought Isaac's shot was going in. That was close.
Yeah, tipped by the Jacks player. I thought that was going in.
Do you happen to have that replay, Brendan? I would love to see Isaac's last bit effort there. She fired one in from the point, and from our angle, it looked like it was going to find that top right corner.
From 4-0 to a 5-4. That's rough for the girls.
You know, I do agree, Michael. Although the 4-0 wasn't really telling the story. I think Schaefer came up huge early on with some really big saves. I got to give the hats off to the Jacks. They didn't give up. They were pressing hard, and they were out shooting us early, and when it should have been done, they said, no, we're not done. So they were fighting for their lives. But not sure what Alan was doing with the rock, scissors, paper with the ref.
Doing the same thing, yeah.
Good to see the camaraderie here in the mid-ice with the post-game prayer. Well, fans at home, tough loss. 5-4 in victory for the Jacks. But I tell you what, the Jacks might have just squeaked into a playoff spot depending on what happened with Amarillo. And we will have a rematch against them in the round robin if it was. And I tell you what, our girls will be hungry for that, for sure.
Yeah, so just a reminder for the playoffs, like you said, round robin, so we play every single other top 4 team, right? And that'll occur next weekend. So,
and we will be broadcasting to you next weekend. 2 games Friday. One will either be 11 a.m. or 10:30, and then an afternoon game as well, and then one Saturday morning. And as long as everyone gets into semis, so we'll play 2 Saturday, 2 Friday, and we'll hopefully be bringing this to you without any technical difficulties. So, fans at home, thanks for tuning in. Thanks a lot, Brendan. Thanks a lot, Michael.
Thank you.